We all have dreams. No matter who we are or where we come from, there's something deep inside us that yearns for more. Sometimes these dreams are vivid and bold, painted in bright colors in our minds. Other times they're quiet whispers, gentle nudges that remind us of what could be possible if only we dared to try. Big, audacious goals we long to achieve. We imagine ourselves standing on stages, crossing finish lines, or building something that leaves a mark on the world. These visions fill us with hope and excitement, fueling our motivation to take that first step. We write them down, talk about them with friends, and sometimes even dare to believe they're within reach. Yet so often these dreams remain just that, dreams. Why? Because the gap between aspiration and reality can feel like a chasm too vast to cross. We see the distance between where we are and where we want to be, and it can seem insurmountable. The path ahead looks uncertain and the obstacles loom large, making us question whether we're even capable of making the journey. We set our sights on the summit of the mountain, our hearts filled with ambition. The vision of reaching the top is exhilarating, and for a moment we feel unstoppable. We gather our resources, make plans, and tell ourselves that this time, things will be different. The mountain becomes a symbol of everything we hope to achieve, and we're determined to conquer it. But the sheer scale of the climb can be overwhelming. The higher we look, the more daunting it seems. Each step feels heavier than the last, and doubts begin to creep in. We wonder if we have the strength, the time, or the resources to keep going. The initial excitement fades, replaced by fatigue and uncertainty. We procrastinate, we make excuses, and our dreams slowly fade into the background of our lives. Distractions pile up, and the urgent crowds out the important. We tell ourselves we'll start tomorrow or next week or when things are less busy. But days turn into weeks and weeks into months until our dreams are little more than distant memories. The problem isn't a lack of desire or determination, it's the way we approach our goals. We often believe that sheer willpower is enough or that if we just push harder we'll get there. But motivation alone can't bridge the gap. We need a strategy, a way to turn our big dreams into achievable actions. Instead of breaking down these monumental tasks into manageable steps, we try to tackle them all at once. We take on too much, too quickly, and end up feeling defeated before we've even truly begun. The weight of our ambitions becomes a burden, rather than a source of inspiration. This is where the power of micro goals comes in. By breaking our dreams into tiny, actionable steps, we make progress feel possible. Each small win builds momentum, turning the impossible into the inevitable. The journey to the summit begins with a single, manageable step, and with each step, the great divide grows smaller until one day, we find ourselves standing on the other side. Our brains are fascinating organs with curious quirks. They're not just responsible for our thoughts and actions, but also for the subtle ways we experience the world around us. One of the most intriguing aspects of the human mind is how it handles tasks that are left incomplete. Have you ever noticed how an unfinished task can keep popping up in your thoughts, even when you're trying to focus on something else? This isn't just a coincidence, it's a deeply rooted psychological phenomenon. One such quirk, known as the Zeigarnik effect, explains why unfinished tasks have a way of sticking in our minds. Named after psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik, who first observed this effect in the 1920s, it describes our tendency to remember incomplete or interrupted tasks better than those we've finished. This effect is so powerful that it can influence our mood, our productivity, and even our sleep. Think about a time you started a project or task but didn't finish it. Maybe it was a work assignment, a creative endeavor, or even a household chore. That lingering sense of something left undone can be surprisingly persistent. It's as if your brain keeps sending you gentle reminders, nudging you to return and complete what you started. Did it linger in your thoughts, demanding attention? Perhaps it even distracted you from other important things or made it hard to relax at the end of the day. This mental nagging isn't just annoying, it's your brain's way of trying to resolve unfinished business, keeping the task active in your memory until you finally address it. This is the Zeigarnik effect in action. It's a psychological mechanism that helps us stay organized and motivated, but it can also become a source of stress if we let too many tasks pile up. The more unfinished business we have, the more mental energy we spend juggling reminders and to-dos in our minds. This phenomenon highlights our innate desire for closure. Our brains crave the satisfaction that comes from completing a task, no matter how small. When we check something off our list, we experience a sense of relief and accomplishment which reinforces our motivation to keep going. Our brains crave completion, And until we satisfy this craving, the unfinished task continues to occupy valuable mental real estate. This can lead to feelings of overwhelm, anxiety, and even burnout if we're not careful. The more we leave undone, the more cluttered our minds become, making it harder to focus and be productive. Micro goals leverage this effect to our advantage. By breaking big projects into smaller, manageable steps, we can create a series of quick wins that keep us motivated and focused. Each small accomplishment gives our brain the closure it craves, reducing mental clutter and making it easier to tackle the next step. By breaking down large goals into bite-sized pieces, we create a continuous cycle of completion. This not only helps us stay on track, but also transforms overwhelming projects into a series of achievable milestones. In the end, understanding the Zeigarnik effect empowers us to work with our brains, not against them, turning unfinished business into a powerful motivator for progress. Imagine wanting to run a marathon. The thought of running 26.2 miles can be daunting, even paralyzing. But what if, instead of focusing on the entire distance, you started with a micro goal of running just 1 mile? This simple shift in perspective can make all the difference. By setting small, achievable goals, we build momentum and create a sense of progress. Each micro goal we achieve, no matter how small, releases a surge of dopamine, the feel-good hormone that motivates us to keep going. This positive reinforcement loop propels us forward, one step at a time, until we reach our ultimate destination. My Tiny Habits method is built on this very principle, making behavior change so simple, so effortless, that it's almost impossible to fail. When we think about changing our lives, it's easy to get overwhelmed by big goals and ambitious plans. But the truth is, lasting change doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, the simpler you make it, the more likely you are to succeed. That's why the Tiny Habits approach focuses on breaking things down into the smallest possible steps, so you can start right away, no matter how busy or stressed you might be. The core of this method is identifying an existing habit, something you already do every day, like brushing your teeth, making coffee, or even checking your phone in the morning. These are your anchor points. By attaching a new, tiny behavior to one of these anchors, you create a natural trigger for your new habit. This makes it much easier to remember and repeat because you're not relying on willpower or motivation alone. Instead, you're building on routines that are already part of your life. For example, let's say you want to start meditating. Instead of committing to a 30-minute session right away, you might try meditating for just 1 minute after brushing your teeth in the morning. That's it, just 60 seconds. This tiny commitment feels so manageable that you're far more likely to actually do it, even on your busiest days. Over time, that 1 minute can naturally grow into a longer practice, but the key is to start small and make it easy. By linking your new habit to an established routine, you create a powerful connection in your brain. This connection helps the new behavior become automatic, so you don't have to think about it or force yourself to remember. It just becomes part of your day, as natural as brushing your teeth or pouring your morning coffee. This is the secret to making habits stick, not through force or discipline, but through simplicity and consistency. The beauty of tiny habits is that it removes the friction of starting. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment, or summon a huge burst of motivation. Instead, you can begin right now, with the smallest possible action. This approach is empowering, because it shows you that change is always within reach, no matter your circumstances. By making the initial action ridiculously easy, we overcome the inertia that so often holds us back. Taking that first tiny step builds momentum, and each time you repeat the behavior, you reinforce your new habit. Over time, these small actions add up to big results. Remember, simplicity isn't just about doing less, it's about making it easier to do what matters most. Sarah, a self-proclaimed couch potato, always dreamed of running a marathon, but honestly, the thought of running even a mile seemed impossible to her. Then she discovered the power of micro goals. She started by committing to walking for just 5 minutes each day. Gradually, she increased the duration and intensity of her walks, eventually incorporating short bursts of running. Within a year, Sarah crossed the finish line of her first marathon. Her journey from couch potato to marathoner is a testament to the transformative power of small, consistent actions. David, a high school student, dreamed of becoming a software engineer. But, the world of coding seemed vast and honestly kind of intimidating. He dabbled in online tutorials but often felt overwhelmed. Then he discovered the power of micro goals. He committed to writing just one line of code each day. This seemingly insignificant action sparked a passion within him. He started spending hours experimenting with code, his confidence growing with each line he wrote. Today, David is a successful software engineer, and his journey is really a testament to the power of starting small and building momentum. Ready to unlock your own success with micro goals? Well, here's a simple framework. First, identify your big goal. What is it that you truly want to achieve? Next, break it down by dividing your big goal into smaller, more manageable milestones. Then start tiny and make your initial micro goals ridiculously easy to achieve. Celebrate every win and, acknowledge and celebrate each micro goal you accomplish. Finally, as you gain momentum, gradually increase the challenge of your micro goals. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Similarly, the path to achieving our biggest dreams is paved with tiny victories. Each micro goal we conquer, no matter how small, is a testament to our commitment and resilience. These small wins fuel our motivation, boost our confidence, and really propel us towards our ultimate destination. Don't underestimate the power of consistency. It's not about giant leaps forward, but about showing up day after day, taking one small step at a time. The power to achieve your dreams is within your grasp. You don't need superhuman willpower or extraordinary talent. All you need is the willingness to start small and the commitment to keep going. Embrace the power of micro goals. Break down your biggest aspirations into bite-sized actions. Celebrate every victory, no matter how small. Your journey to success starts today, with a single tiny step. Take it.